I thought my life would have been different. I thought that I would have achieved different milestones in my 30s by now. I don't know if you're watching this in your 20s and 30s and you're also navigating life and trying to figure things out. I feel totally lost, by the way. I don't know if you ever feel not lost. Let me know what you guys think about that. I feel like I'm just constantly in this state of discovery and trying to figure out what I want to do. I wish that people set the expectation that you're supposed to feel lost and that you're supposed to be questioning things and that maybe that's a good thing after all. I thought that I would have kids by now. I'm 31 years old. I live in New York City. I thought I would have met someone a few years ago. I thought I would have been married by now. I look around me and basically almost all of my friends are married. They've been married for years at this point. And then there's just me. Then there's me, woo, and it's one of those things where it's like, okay, that's fine. It's okay that I'm not married, but at the same time, you're constantly reminded, you're seeing the 4th of July holidays, the winter holidays, Mother's Day, all these holidays, right? And I'm just spending that alone with my dog, which again, is awesome in its own, and I'm not trying to put that down because there's nothing wrong with that per se. It's more so of I just thought that I would have a toddler by now. I thought I'd be on my second kid by now. I thought that I would be, setting up appetizers for having extended family come over. I thought that my life was gonna look different in my 30s, in my early 30s. You can feel grateful for the achievements. You can feel grateful for the blessings that you have in your life. You can feel grateful for your family being healthy, this, that, and the third, right? That is separate. I feel grateful for the things that I have, the things that are going amazing in my life. I feel so grateful for that. And at the same time, I also think it's okay to want companionship, to want a deeper level connection with someone, to want to have a teammate that you navigate life with, right? Where we're there for one another, where we take care of each other when we're not feeling well, or that we're there for each other when the times are both hard and great, and laughing in your pajamas, cooking on a weeknight, or traveling together. I guess not all of us are meant to follow a traditional roadmap when it comes to what timeline we're going to get married or what timeline we're going to meet someone. I'm afraid that I'm not going to meet someone in time. I'm afraid that what if I meet someone when I'm 38 years old? And by that time, after I get to know them, say we get married at 40, that's probably too late to have kids. That's going to put me in a really high risk pregnancy if I can even have a kid by that time. I'm not going to have as much energy that I would if I were to have kids now or by 34. I thought that I was going to be done having kids by 35, 36, and it's not really tracking to look like that. And it's so sad because it's I love kids, I love family, and I want a family, and I just haven't met someone that's compatible where we want compatible things. And again, they don't have to be a billionaire, millionaire, gazillionaire, right? It's more so about compatibility of family values, expectations around children, expectations around where you want to raise children, right? Because I love living in New York City, which I think is kind of crazy. And I'm torn about the suburbs because I think the suburbs is kind of where your dreams go to die, right? It's where your dreams perish. And I'm anxious just thinking about the suburbs. And I have my career in New York City, and I live in Manhattan and I work in Manhattan, and I'm happy here, right? And I have my dog, I own my apartment, I have a career in tech, and I have my hobbies, I have my painting, I have my YouTube channel, I have all the things that I'm doing, right? I live a very full life, and I want to meet someone who also lives a very full life, who wants to, be a parent, who values their career and family. I have no idea what that could potentially look like when I'm a mom. I have no idea what will happen to my career. You just can't predict the future, right? At this point, it's not about finding someone, at least for me, and I'm curious to know what you guys think about this, and where you guys are at in your dating journey, because as I have done a lot of healing work in myself, as I have moved up in my career, as I've just grown and matured and gotten older as a person, I realized that finding deeper level connection is harder than it seems. People can be nice, but being nice isn't necessarily enough. It's is there compatibility in these long-term values is also really important. And are you a good person? Are you honest? Do you have principles? Like, are you ethical? Like, are you just like, yeah, like, are you a good person? I'm a happy person. Like, I'm a really happy person. I swear, I promise I'm a happy person, okay? But like, I think you can be happy and still be like, I would really like to meet someone special. And I hate it when people tell me, oh, well, you're gonna meet someone when you least expect it. Can we just retire that advice? I need to make an announcement, a public service announcement. Please don't tell people that you're gonna meet someone when you least expect it, and don't tell people to just settle. Everything I do, it's like a reminder of the fact that I'm alone. When you travel by yourself, like I'm kind of over traveling by myself too, by the way. Like I'm curious what you guys think about traveling solo, because I've done it for years at this point and I'm kind of over it. It kind of feels like a bunch of work. And a lot of trips, they're geared towards couples and families. Like a lot of trips are geared towards at least a pair, even if it's like with a girlfriend. But again, I'm not able to travel with girlfriends because all my friends are pretty much married. When you're married, your priorities are different, right? I'm kind of like the bottom of the totem pole here, okay? Like, I am like a last priority. I'm like a nice to have or can come later in the priority spreadsheet here, okay? I think it's kind of how it is in American life. I'm curious to know your thoughts, but like female friendships are just not really seen as a priority. I feel like a lot of female friendships or friendships in general just aren't as prioritized once people get married. And it's kind of a bummer when you see these like girls that the second they get married, they just disappear. Or the second they get in like serious relationships, they're just gone with the wind. You're like, I don't know what happened to that friend. She just got in a relationship and never to be seen from again. And like, maybe I hear from her once a year at most, right? And that's also a bummer. Please, I hope I'm never that friend that it just like lets all the friendships fall by the wayside. I think it's extremely important to prioritize your spouse, but also to prioritize your friends and your own identity and your own hobbies and your own life, and to not only have everything be about your spouse or to have everything be about, oh, your spouse has to come with or something like that. I'm curious to know your thoughts, because I hate it when people are just attached at the hip and they just have no sense of even like a small amount of independence. I think that's like scary to me, Yes, you can count on each other, but you're still also like individual people at the same time that have come together. I don't know. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. I don't mean to sound negative or anything. I just kind of want to speak from the heart here, because I hope that this resonates with you guys. I hope that there's someone's watching this that you guys feel like you're not alone, because I think that it's normal to question a lot of things, especially in your 20s and 30s, and be like, what am I doing with my life? Am I making all the right moves? Am I doing the right things that I need to be doing? Maybe I need to prioritize other things differently. It's so hard to not compare, because of course, as human beings, we're gonna look around and see our peers, and if we're the only ones who are not married, it's like, I'm like, what's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? What are all the things that I'm terrible at, like that I need to fix in myself? There comes a point, right, where we don't have to be the most perfect being in the whole world. Then on top of that, there's also the marriages where you're like, I don't envy that at all. May that love never find me, because it's better to be alone than to settle for someone who makes you feel alone or someone who makes you heavily compromise. Like let's just a quick little example. I've ended what could have been a great relationship with someone because they wanted to move to Asia. And I'm like, no, I want to live in New York. That's literally a real thing that happened. They originally told me that they wanted kids, or that they were like open to kids and that they liked that idea. But then as I got to know them more, it seemed like their life did not include kids in the picture, because they kind of wanted to just kind of be super transient and like live in country to country to country. And again, we broke up shortly after that because I'm like, I'm not the girl for you. Like, I'm not the girl for you. Like, I want stability. Like, I want children. I want family to be more of a priority. I don't necessarily need to live in Thailand for 3 months. Like, I don't need to do that. I lived in Spain already. I've traveled quite a bit already. I don't need to be, I need to live in this country for a few months, in this country for a few months, in this country for a few months. I'm like, I don't really want that, but I love that for other people. That's like amazing. I love that for everybody else, not for me, but I love that for everybody else. Again, I have a dog, so everything changes because I have a dog and I prioritize hanging out with my dog, and I would never want to put him in a dangerous spot. I would love to know your thoughts on this. Like, again, everything is working out. The timing is right. It's okay if our life looks different than our friends. It's okay that people make different choices. Some people might have kids a lot earlier, and some people might have kids a lot later. And it's like, there might be people who had kids at like 21 when they were kind of just a kid themselves, and they're trying to like figure things out. Or maybe they went through a divorce and they're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm starting my whole life over. I feel totally lost, and I feel like I was a kid when I was having kids, so now I didn't get to have the experience of like navigating your 20s, like while you're trying to figure things out. And then I'm on the other side of it where it's like, oh wow, I am 31 years old and I did all these things by myself completely, right? Like all these things by myself, all these milestones by myself, but I haven't found someone that I find to be compatible with long term, right? Where we align in family values and what we're looking for. I also think, by the way, like alignment in finances is important too, and lifestyle and expectations, and making sure that they're not like some crazy spender. You have to have a good balance, right? Of like the spender versus the saver, or like there's people out there who might be really successful, but they spend everything that they make, and that terrifies me. You'd be surprised. Thank you so much for listening to all of my ranting and raving. I really appreciate it. And let me know if I sound absolutely crazy and deeply insecure. Again, I think I'm happy, but I think you can be happy and grateful for the things that you have and still want love and still want companionship and still want to feel loved, like in a romantic way, not just my parents, not just my parents or my grandma or my dog, okay? Like it's a different kind of love, please. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on all of that. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.